The night the son of the sun begged for his soul, and gold unleashed the ultimate betrayal, July 26, 1533. A dark night descends on Cajamarca. Atahualpa, the last great Incan ruler, is dragged to the center of the plaza. Everything is set for the pyre. He had been condemned to die, consumed by fire. As the flames roar to life, sheer terror grips the emperor. Realizing his fate is to be burned alive, he recoils and desperately begs them to stop. His anguish stems from a sacred and profound belief. In the Incan religion, to resurrect in the afterlife, the body had to be meticulously embalmed. If the fire reduced him to ashes, his soul would vanish for all eternity. A Spanish chaplain steps from the shadows with a macabre offer. He can spare him the flames and instead be strangled by the garrote. But there is one non-negotiable condition. He must forsake his gods, embrace the Christian faith, and be baptized. Atahualpa, who had endured his entire captivity without yielding, finally breaks, faced with the cosmic horror of losing his soul. The friar baptizes him right then and there, surrounded by the freezing Andean wind and Spanish steel. Minutes later, the fatal sentence is carried out. Atahualpa is strangled. The Spanish, for once, kept their grim promise. As the tragic news of his execution spreads, chaos and utter desolation erupt. Thousands of Incan subjects slit their wrists en masse to join their divine emperor in the great beyond. Left without a leader, Atahualpa's mighty armies retreat. The path is clear. The conquistadors march forward and seize Cusco without facing a single sword. They attempt to maintain a political facade, crowning one of Atahualpa's brothers as a puppet ruler. But the majestic Incan Empire was already mortally wounded. Less than a year later, Cusco is refounded as a Spanish colony, marking the birth of the Viceroyalty of Peru. Meanwhile, Francisco Pizarro basks in the gold and glory he had so ruthlessly sought. But absolute power renders him blind and reckless. Believing himself untouchable, he would walk the streets of Lima without bodyguards. Envy and unchecked ambition weave a deadly web around him. June 1541. 12 of his own men storm his lavish palace to assassinate him. The old conqueror fights fiercely for his life, but cannot hold back the murderous mob. He suffers at least 20 lethal sword wounds and collapses to the floor. With his dying breath, Pizarro dips his fingers into his own blood and draws a cross on the stone floor. He kisses it, and his violent life fades to black. Incan gold bought his fame, but it couldn't save him from the greed of his own men. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments. If history moves you as much as it does us, subscribe to The Day Everything Changed, so you never miss an event that transformed the world.